White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong. In the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder. To the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise. Eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes. Glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies. Rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide. With the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride. With our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise. Eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this live podcast, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and exciting future under, well, we think, ANGE Postecoglou. And tonight we are going to look a little bit back at the North London derby. We're going to a little bit more in depth in it, and then hopefully put that to bed as we look forward to Coventry City in the League Cup on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. Joining me tonight is a guest. Some say he has the biggest duck collection the world has never ever seen. Also, some say he was the first man to ever make a V8 engine. He is not the Stig, but he's the Stig's son. Stig's son. How are you, Stiggy?
Not too bad, not too bad. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Maybe I made the V6, who knows?
See, something we're learning about Stig's son. He made the V6 engine. Something we've learned. Wow. These things we're learning about you is amazing. We learned today Daddy Stig, right? Has hair. We learned that today about him.
I know. Always keeps his helmet on, even in the shower.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Something else we'll see. Do you though?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know why Dermotron is a complete lunatic. 40 complete lunatic. And people watch us, God only knows why. Look, today's a bit of, with it being a sad day because of the loss of the channel the game yesterday, it's a bit of a sad day for the channel as a whole, as one of our own has retired. This is a statement that I've been given to read out to you guys. So this is, of course, from the Godfather himself, Mr. Philip Brady. He said, this is not a message I want to be writing, but the time has come for me to retire from THFC till I die. Such a decision was not made lightly, and it was part of a lifestyle adjustment that's been taking place in recent times. While I'm technically retired, the reality is just the opposite. My company has doubled its client base over the last 12 months, and this takes up more time, more hours each day, leaving little time for family, the channel, and other things. I have thoroughly enjoyed my years on the channel, enjoyed Coping Centre and Sparring. We've had some of them with Dermot and the great fans who contribute to this show, so contribute so much to the channel. It is in great hands with Dermot, Tequila, Boris, Colin, and Carl, and I will have been monitoring from a distance. Last of all, it might not have been a great side for Spurs, but keep the faith. Good times are coming under ANGE. I find. Look, firstly, Philip, thank you for everything you've done for the channel. You've helped me more ways than when you were here at the start, when we rebranded THFs from Tottenham Go to THFC Till I Die. I think you were the one that came up with the name, actually, funnily enough. And I want to say thank you for everything you've done, shows wise. We're going to miss you very much. I think I'm going to miss you the most, because we did do a lot of shows together. We, at one point, it was only the two of us before we expanded, bringing in the other guys. And they've given the channel as well a different dimension. The likes of Colin and Tequila and you as well, Boris. You've all enhanced the channel to where me and Philip wanted it to be. But all I'm going to say is thank you, Philip, so much for everything. We've got a little video. Do you want to say anything to Philip, Boris, before I play the video?
Yeah, of course. I only knew him for a short time for when I actually joined the family, and we did the couple of podcasts together back before he took a step back from the channel. And he was a great talk to, a great laugh in regards to it. I enjoyed the time I was able to spend with him and spend with you guys when I first joined you all. But yeah. I hope he has a good life, and I hope to see him in the chat sometimes.
Yeah, don't be a stranger, Mr. Brady. You're always welcome in the chat. But yeah, Philip, Colin's very quickly done a little montage of Philip's great time. I will be sending this to Philip, but everyone, please put in the comments, even below, if you're watching this, your best to Philip as well. He is the godfather of THFC Till I Die. That will never change. But I think I said it to the guys today. I'm feeling it a bit the most than I say Tequila, Colin, and Boris, because Philip's been quite close, and he's become sort of a very fatherly figure on YouTube for me. And he's been there for me when I needed him to there. And when my mother-in-law passed away, him and Mia took the channel by the scruff of the neck when I had to take time out. And anytime I've had to take time out, he's always ran with the channel, and I'd be forever grateful for what he's done for me personally and what he's done for the channel. So, Philip, this is for you. Thank you so much for everything you've done. You will be the godfather, a legend of this channel, but this is for you, and I hope you like it. There you go. An end of an era, as they say. Yeah, a bit emotional by that, to be fair. There's a lot of memories there for me.
Yeah. The thing what interested me for was that that piece of art behind you on the third clip. Like,
now,
what was that?
There is a story behind that. We went to the AC Milan. I was over in London at that time with Dave and Jack. We went over for 4 days before the AC Milan quarter-final game.
Ah.
And And we were staying in an apartment, and that was behind me. And then Philip, I think, was at his daughter's house, I think, at that point.
Mm.
And he came over and we met. And I'll never forget this long as I live. Me and Philip met in the pub. And we said, right, we'll go to the game. We're getting to the ground early. Go to the club shop and we'll get to the ground early. So we went to the club shop, and then we saw these two AC Milan people thinking, are they Italian? Like, we'll get their interview for the channel. Like, and you can't really do anything within the club shop. But I thought, we're in the corner, so I thought we'd get away with it. So we said to them, where from you? Do you speak English? And they both went, yeah, we're from Mayo. Me and Philip picked the only two Irish Milan fans. It's just anyway. So we're standing in the queue, right? And I always remember that night was a wet and windy. It was a wet night in North London, right? And the machine wouldn't work, right? Do you know where you give your passes in?
Yeah, where you scan like your tickets on your phone or.
And this fella behind us, I always remember me and Philip were standing in the queue, right, getting a bit wet. Thinking, oh, we'll work in a minute. The fella behind it, will you hurry the F up? You know, it was so funny. And the other side were going right, and it was like us being stuck. Right, would you hurry the F up? It was just so funny. Philip, I am going to miss you. Look, I'm going to be talking to him on the phone, and of course he'd be in the chat. But look, he's going to big shoes to fill. But as I said, that's the end of one era. This is the start of a new era of THFC till I die. Myself, Colin, Tequila and Boris and Carl will be taking the channel forward. As Philip said, he will be watching it from a distance, monitoring from a distance. So we have to keep him proud, I think, Tequila and Boris, I think. But yeah, Philip, I know you said that you've enjoyed co-hosting with me. It's been an absolute honor co-hosting with you, sir. It's been a privilege, and yeah, I didn't think it would get to me, but it has actually. I got a bit of a lump in my throat, if I'd be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's bound to happen though, because you've ran the channels like before and stuff like that for what, around 3, 4, 5 years, something like that.
Yeah,
including previous channels and stuff like that. So of course,
I remember when I talked to Philip about coming on full time with us. He was full of we were really low at the time, and I was in a bad place channel wise. And him and Ellie both came on, and we rebranded it as a threesome. That just sounds so wrong. That just sounds.
At least it's past 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that just sounds so.
He's in the chat as well.
I don't mean Philip, you and me were having a threesome with Ellie. That just came across all wrong.
Even worse.
But look, we started the channel, and me and Philip always had to pan this channel in its DNA was to be fun, was to be serious but fun, and it's never gone away from that DNA. And we're going to try to do you proud, Philip. We're going to try to do you proud as we move forward, and I know you will be there in the chat. Yeah. I think you did miss something. Oh dear. Anyway, well, you are Sean Connery, the sexiest man in the world, apparently. Anyway, but Philip, thank you, sir. It's been an honor and it's been a privilege. But yeah, do you want to go? I need just 5 minutes. Do you want to just go to 3? I bring the chats up. Just give us 5 minutes. And
no worries, Martin. Take your time. Okay, and hit. Good evening to you, Jerry. And he says 14 wins in the last 32 games. Clearly not good enough. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Like, of course, Simply Yes. Hello everyone. Hello to you, Simply Yes. Jerry Connor again saying sad to see Phil retire. Wishing Phil all the best. I think all of us are here, no matter what happens and stuff like that. Everybody wishes him the best. Good evening to you, Hog Godturn. Evening to you, Tequila. And Tequila's also saying thank you, Philip, for everything you've done. Philip's saying he's tearing up here, Demo. Thanks so much for the lovely tribute done. We have been watching we hope you do, Philip, and we hope you stay watching and hope to see you in the chat more and more when you can do so. And yes, Tequila was a bit too much info there. Yes, you did miss something there, Philip. I think it was just the wording what Demo used.
Right.
Just used a bit too much of a strange
Yeah.
for certain word, didn't you?
Look, that's no problem. Colin put that together for me. Put it together. So Colin, but yeah, you'll always be here. You're still a founding member. And that's always true. Just going through some thing. I think these are the ones that Philip's glad he's missing because of the way we played yesterday. But let's not put it off any longer. We are talking about, of course, the North London flop, as I want to call it. 61,645 people there. 2 o'clock kickoff on the 15th of September. Arsenal won. And it's the first time in 50 years that Arsenal have won 3 home games at our place.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I expect after a while of us just not putting our shots where I kind of expected it, because even the fans as well, they just constant. They weren't even saying anything. I think I even said it on the. I think I even said it to you yesterday and stuff like that during the watch along and stuff like that. The fans, you couldn't even hear them at all, could you? The 12th man, what we needed, it wasn't there at all in that stadium. The only time you heard it was when Timber was starting to try and start a fight with Vicario. That was it.
Yeah. Look, that's my team ratings. I've gone for 7 for Vicario, Porro 6, Van der Ven 6, Romero 5. He was at fault for the goal. Udogi, I'll give a 6 as well. Bentancur and Kulu both 6. I give Johnson a 4. I give Madison a 7. I give Sonny a 6, and I give Solanke a 6. The only reason I give Madison 7 was he tried. He wanted the ball. But the likes of Johnson and the rest of them went hiding. For the goal, Colin is going to do his eye test show tomorrow. I think tomorrow or Wednesday. He's going to combine the 2 games together, I think. But Vicario should have got that. It was in his area. That was his to take. But I don't know how you feel on that, Boris. I mean, would you give different? What your ratings be, sir?
Well, for this, I'd give Destiny and Porro. I'd give Destiny. I'd give a 7 because he was able to keep Saka at bay quite a majority of the time. He let Saka through once or twice, but majority of the game he kept that left-hand side locked down, which was what we needed.
Yeah.
I'd say Porro a 6.5 because he did let Trossard, Martinelli, and others through quite a few times. Mickey, I'd probably go with a 7 or an 8 because if we didn't have Mickey, I probably would have said more goals would have been conceded. I'd probably say with Romero, probably a 5 or a 6 like yourself. Bentancur, a 7, close to an 8 because he was probably one of the only midfielders what actually tried to wear his heart on his sleeve during that match. During the entirety of the match, I thought he did what he needed to do and stuff like that. And then he made sure to keep that under control. Kulu, I'd probably say as well, 7 because he was an engine in midfield. I'd say.
Yeah.
The one person I'm confused on why he played was Madison. Really, I don't really see. I understand that he's the vice captain and he has to play and stuff like that, but he didn't really. Out of the 2, I'd rather have Kulusevski just in that, and then maybe Pape Sarr with Bentancur on the back. But and then Johnson, I would also give a 4, but I do think it is disgusting what some Spurs fans, as they to call themselves, have done to him, making him have to deactivate his Instagram account. He's a footballer, for goodness sake. It's his job. Yes, he didn't do a great job of it, but he shouldn't be having to go after people and probably send them vile abuse. And let's be honest, he probably got a few death threats in there as well, because otherwise he wouldn't have deactivated his Twitter account in that regard. And I wouldn't be surprised, because I even said this to all the guys in our WhatsApp. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts in a transfer request in January because of this. Because if this keeps happening to him, I just don't see him sticking around the club for long.
Well, look, for me, for me, Boris, he went hiding yesterday, and he always goes hiding. He's good as a bench player, as coming off the bench. He's good coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's like a Trossard in that.
Yeah, he is. He is. So, look, for me, it's not right to abuse the lad. He's only a young lad, and I agree with you. I think for him to deactivate his Instagram account is very sad indeed. But these are players that are getting paid hundreds of thousands a week.
Yeah, of course.
60 or 70 times a week.
I'm not taking away the fact that the fans have a right to get angry, because they all do.
But also, one thing Philip said, and I agree with him on it, that transfer money's gone mad.
Yeah,
he's not a 50 million pound player. He's a 15, 20 million pound player. But I want to ask you a question on this, and I heard it said today by Jamie O'Hara, and I agree with him. Are we buying players, championship players, trying to make them Champions League? Why don't we just go out and buy Champions League players? Because at least he came on, he gave a bit of threat. He gave a little bit of what you wanted Johnson to do. But I don't think Johnson has that ability. I think he's lost his confidence completely. So why does Ange keep putting him out there? The player's got no confidence. Keep him out for a few games. Play Kulu on that wing.
I think he's just trying to see if it maybe just be like because we've played it's either sink or swim, isn't it? So maybe that's why he's not playing Mikey as much, and he's not having Mikey on the bench as much as well. He wants. But yeah, I would have probably said even like just instead of Maddison on the pitch, I would have rather had Bergvall on the pitch instead of that position, to have Kulu and Bergvall as attacking players, because they are both deadly threats when they are in need to. Because I'd say Bergvall, give him like a year or so, I'd probably say he's going to be better than Maddison, because we've heard like Leicester fans say Maddison's hit or miss, haven't we? Yeah. And we saw that a lot with people saying Maddison's hit or miss in regards to it. Solanke, it was his second match, and he just come back from an injury. Somehow he managed to pick up it, even though he didn't have an injury all last season. But that just might be our weird doctors. Let's be honest, they've probably done something wrong to him, probably broke him again, like most players. But I'd probably say Solanke just needs a bit more time in regards to it. And you can critique players all you want. It's just, and I do agree with you. Like with the Jimmy O'Hara thing, we are signing championship players, but you also have to say, what Philip said. You just said to me, money's getting out of control when it comes to transfer values and stuff like that. So players what are just about Champions League level are going to probably be like 70, 80 million. And with that as well, like everybody's saying, why don't we go out for Champions League level players? Was Eze a Champions League level player? No.
Well, everyone was shouting for him, weren't they? It was said yesterday, right, that we nearly got Gimenez and we nearly got Jonathan David, both Champions League strikers. Look, Solanke, I know you're a big Solanke fan, right? And I'm a bit underwhelmed. I thought he did well yesterday. But I thought with the one chance he had when Gabriel closed him down, if that was a Harry Kane or if that was any striker of any ilk, they would have took that first time.
Yeah.
He wouldn't need to take the extra shot. But the performance was there. I mean, look, if we go to the stats, Boris, right? If the league was run by stats, we were top of the league. We outstatted them. 63.7 possession to their only 36. We had more shots on target, more shots altogether, more touches, more passes. All right, tackles we sort of lost by one. Clearances, that Arsenal had more clearances than us. We won on corners. All right, offsides they won, yellow cards.
We won.
We were very physical yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah.
And fouls conceded. But look at the top one. Possession, shots on target, shots, touches and passes.
Yeah.
We should have won that 3 or 4-0.
Yeah, I would say, though, everybody keeps forgetting how good of a keeper Raya is.
Yeah.
And that
he did one save, didn't he? He did one save. What was it, against Kulu?
Yeah,
when he
like
went, yeah. Raya is a very good keeper, and people seem to forget that. But I don't know. It still keeps coming back. We're not taking our chances, Boris, and
yeah,
that's the problem with this Ange team. We're not taking our chances, and we
yeah.
need to take our chances.
Do you think maybe it's Ange telling them to try and get it in the box and try and score from in the box, so that's why they're not taking chances? And the only player we see taking chances outside of the box is Porro. But because we know Porro can score those type of goals, maybe do we think Ange is maybe telling the players yes they have to get into the box to shoot? Because that's all we're seeing from Son now. Even though Son used to do some really amazing out of box shots, Solanke got into the box quite a lot for Bournemouth, but he also got some shots when he was outside of the box.
Yeah, I mean, look, some of the lads are putting in here. Stephen Thomas says, and he's right. He says stats are crap. Eye tests tell a different story. They do, and that's very good.
Yeah.
We've got eye tests coming up every week after every game. From
a thing with me though, like I also saw as well, like 3 people, like when Solanke was going forward, 3 of the Arsenal players, Partey, Gabriel, and Saliba, were marking him in a triangle shape, so he couldn't really get hold of the ball. Like,
if you look at it, right, Sonny was getting the ball, 3 people around him. Brennan Johnson, there was nobody around Brennan Johnson at all.
Well, that's because you know he isn't a threat. He's a threat for like 45 minutes, but then he just stops. Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad player, because he's not. He's a good player. Like, we saw the interest in him before we went for him. Like, I think, was it Arsenal looking at him? Man United were, from what I think Colm said and stuff like that. But I think...
I don't know, Boris. I'm very angry. I don't like losing to Arsenal, and that's the thing.
Yeah, of course. I don't think anybody does, though. I don't like losing to Chelsea. I don't like losing to Arsenal. I don't like losing to any team.
No, I don't. Look, if we lose and we play well, I can accept that. But it was a North London derby. There should have been passion. There should have been something in it. That look, I'm 47, past it. You're younger than me. But if you and me were asked to play, even Tequila and Colin were asked to play, right, we would give 110% for that shirt.
Yeah.
Well, you mean Tequila would.
Yeah, I think for what we were missing, though, was somebody like Basuma, like current form Basuma.
Yeah.
I feel like that was what we were missing as well. Like, I feel if Basuma was fit, I feel Bentancur and Basuma, that would have been a deadly back 6 and an 8. Basuma can play in his natural lane, and Bentancur could play as the makeshift 6.
Yeah. I mean, our form is relegation form, to be fair.
Yeah, well, let's hope we can change it around starting from Wednesday.
Hopefully. Well, let's get back from some of this chat. It's back. He was talking about he couldn't find the super chat.
I think it was just because Tequila said it was on full-time Sports Network, and then
Yeah, so do, Neil, send in a super chat with super sticker if you want. Does help the channel grow and does help keeping me and Stig's son keep doing what we love doing. Your dad's in the chat.
Yeah, it allows me to buy pot noodles.
Yeah, so he says, I'm a bad father, I feel bad. He says, I'm very rude to my son. So he's saying hello, Stig's son. So Big Stig saying hello to Little Stig. See, there you go. We like keeping it as a family in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and you've got grandfather Stig, who's retired.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to throw something up.
And then we've got the random Uncle Stig, what comes in and goes at times.
Random. Some say he can stick 2 fingers up. It's true. We've got Neil saying, look at critical player as part of the game, but there are people who abuse what a criticism should be. Call them for physical harm or making a fire threat is not okay. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Stephen Thomas saying, stats are crap. Eye test tell a different story. Wait for Column's eye test show. I'm really looking forward to that. We've got Neil Shafton. We'll talk about these players if we know if we know that Spurs every made of sport inquiry. Most of those names brought up were never even contacted nor the team. Too many people assume things. That's very true, actually.
Yeah, the thing is though, how do we know Tony wasn't trying to squeeze every single drop of money out? Like, he might be wanting 300, 400k a week, but look what he's going to Saudi now, and how much is he on a week in Saudi? I can't remember.
We're looking at Dermo, do you think Ange is a con man and a yes man? No to both. My video that's out now, why I'm still in Ange We Trust, is out. That would tell you why I don't think Ange is a con man and a yes man. I don't think he is. I think it's ridiculous to call him that. Sorry, Tequila, I respect your opinion, but I think you're ridiculous for saying it. I think it's a ridiculous comment. Ange, for me, will be proven right in the end. Ange will take us to the promised land. I am assured of that. And if I'm wrong, I will hold my hands up and say, look, maybe I got it wrong over at Ange. And maybe you're right, Tequila. But wow. Big up to Neil Shafton. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Honestly, take a break, Dermot, which I am tomorrow. Tomorrow evening is my last show.
Yeah, Neil,
taking a break for a few days.
We've made him take a break and stuff like that. We've taken him off the channel for a few days next.
Take a break, Dermot. The missus could use some company and take her out for a meal. Well, we are going out for a lovely meal Wednesday evening, so I'm looking forward to that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. $20. Really appreciate it. Neil, you're a decent man. Thank you so much.
I can finally be fed tonight.
Neil?
I can finally be fed. Thank you, Neil. Thank you for providing me with some food, some money, so I can get fed this week. But no, all serious though, Neil. Thank you very much for that. It's greatly appreciated what you've done there for us. It'll keep us going, and it'll keep us growing more and more, and you'll be able to see us more as well. If the more people who donate, the more people who pick up memberships, anything like that, it'll keep us going.
Yeah, and we've got a members video coming out tomorrow. Me, Tequila, and Colin did on the North London game and the bit of the Coventry game as well. So please look out for that. But thank you, Neil, so much. Really, really. And we know it's tough times out there, guys. We do realise inflation is high and everything. So thank you so much. Wow, €20. That is so big. Thank you so much. We've got Tequila. What's a question? Never said I thought yet. Never thought. Was a question. Never said I thought that way. I know. I was more pulling your leg by saying it the way I reacted. But no. You get if you get me, I like pulling Tequila's leg. Let's bite them, my nan, without adventures. That's oh Lord, that's a good one. Listen, I like that. It's who we are, mate. Stephen Tom, another huge worry is that Ange looks second best for tactics. It's true though, isn't it? It's starting to look that way, isn't it? What do you reckon, Boris? Do you reckon does he need to evolve too much, does he?
I don't think too much. I think he just needs to realise that he can't, like as everybody says, he can't just play that way consistently. Like, I know he will, but I know he does also adapt as well. Not much. He keeps the same philosophy of attacking, but he does also then. We have also seen a few times, I think, him change as well, but I feel like, as I've said previously and stuff like that, and I think you've seen this and stuff like that, he usually, I think he'll probably end up focusing more on defending next season, because he's just still implementing his tactics and stuff like that, his attacking philosophy.
So, look, what lessons can be learned from this derby loss? What can we take from this going into the few games? Because, just before we get that, big up to Must Sports Ball, LA Kings back, baby, and Kings of London, we know who is red. Not for long. We've only lent you that red title. With Vodafone. Champions League week for the big boy clubs. So,
when you were the Champions League for multiple years before last season,
we don't want Champions League, do we, Boris? We want Europa League.
Yeah, we want Europa League because we know we can actually win that.
Yeah, I still won't win that. The real 7-year Lewis, big up Lewis, always a member as well, big up, a great lad as well. DJ, if you're watching, man, I hope you're keeping well. I did get in contact with you. I know we were talking yesterday on X, but listen, man, I hope you're keeping all right. If you need anything, you know where we are. And we'll get back to big up DJ Samuel, absolute legend of the channel. When I listen to Andrew, I don't feel any enthusiasm coming from him. I think it's just his way in nature, to be fair. But he made a very bold statement yesterday, Boris, that I win things in my second season and we will win more than Arsenal at the end of the season. That is a bold statement to make.
Let's be honest, Arsenal probably won't win the league again. Well,
No.
they'll probably lose out on it again. They won't win the Champions League. I'd say the only chances that things they have is like the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. I'd say those are their only chances.
Yeah.
Really, because I feel like then the Champions League, it's even tougher than it was last year because now Madrid's built a super team. What's the best team in the world? City's now got back their key player, their major key player, what they missed out on last season since he was at Barcelona in Gundogan. And they've got somebody who the City fans are calling the next Mahrez on the wing in Savio.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a Man City Madrid final, you know. I've got a funny feeling that could be the final.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't rule out Bayern Munich either, by the way.
Yeah, because Kane still seems to be on form for Bayern Munich, so I don't know why he can't pull it out for England for some reason.
Yeah, well, don't worry. We will be covering some of them games over on our other channel, European Football Network. We are going to start covering Champions League games over there. Starting this week, if that's all right with you, Boris, if you don't mind covering an old watch along over there for us. You know, just I know.
As long as it's not Arsenal, sure.
No, it's fine. No, we could get a good one for you. Azerbaijan versus Uruguay or something like that. Azerbaijan versus San Marino. We'll get you one of the classic games to cover.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hot God 10, big up to James. Hope you're doing well, sir. Always a legend of the channel as well. I'm losing trust in Ange. I don't think we have the players. We don't have the players because he wasn't backed in the summer. And that's now come back to bite us on the arse, I think. But I say more in my video earlier, so just go and watch that because I have a lot more saying that. But big up, Hot God 10. I'm with listening on this. I'm dreaming of a complete Ange redemption arc. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing the Rocky theme in my head.
Yeah.
Do you know that bit in the Rocky film, right? You think Rocky's down and out. He's against the ropes, against like Apollo Creed or that Russian fella, right? You think he's going to get busted. And then the music starts, and then you see the comeback. This is what I think. This is what I've got for Ange, right? He's on the ropes at the moment. It's a bit like Rocky. He's getting bad. And then he starts making a comeback. I'm dreaming of a complete Ange redemption arc. Imagine how many Ange outers would be in the mod. There'd be quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
Quite a few. But could you know, maybe that Rocky bit could be happening. You never know. As long as he doesn't shout Adrian at the end of by winning the League Cup, I think we'd be quite happy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Probably a bit before your time, Boris. Sorry. All love a redemption arc at the area word. Neil says, I think we just need to let the season play out. If we start to tank to the point of finishing bottom of the table, then Ange is done. But we're still something. It is so early in the season, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it has been reported that the board are still 100% behind Ange, even though he had a poor start to the season by Fabrizio said, and we've had our sources also said that Ange has still got the full confidence of the board.
Yeah, and I think he will. I think see, this is what I said earlier in my video. I don't want to give too much away. I want people to go and watch it. If you can, please hit the like button on it. But when we've backed managers before, we've been successful. And that's the thing. We've been very successful when we've backed managers before. And we can't keep going down this road of sacking, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, because it doesn't work, Boris. You know that as well as I do. In your time of watching football, you've watched the great Man United. I remember when Fergie was a game away from getting sacked, right?
Yeah.
They had to go away. I think it was an FA Cup third round away to Nottingham Forest, 1990, right? And they had to win that game. If Fergie lost that, he was out of a job. He wins that game. United go on to win the FA Cup in 1990. Then they win the Cup Winners' Cup in 91. 92, they win the League Cup. And then 93, they win the league. He was a game away from being sacked after 6 years in charge before that, or 5 years in charge before that. So, and then he spends the next 20 odd years, Man United cleaning up everything. You look at all the big clubs in the world. You can name me clubs in Europe, Boris, that have stood by managers and they've been successful.
Yep. Well, the ones you can't really say, some like Madrid with Ancelotti, because that was always bound to happen. No, let's be honest. But we also have to think for like Ancelotti was at Everton during the COVID, so.
I mean, you look at even Wenger and Arsenal, was there for 20 odd years.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it ended badly for him, but he was successful. He was given time to build a team. And that Arsenal team were great to watch at some points. I mean, we beat them 3-2 at the Emirates when we were 2-0 down. But Ange needs to be given time. Are you Ange in or Ange out? Are you Ange in the middle, Boris? If you've been really honest.
I'm Ange in because like I've had enough of just sacking managers really and stuff like that. Like it's annoying that we're losing consistently, but it's obviously it's gonna. Well, we hope it's going to change, so I'm just going to keep my faith in him for the time being and stuff like that. And if he changes it around, that's good. But the thing is, though, everybody still thinks, though, what? Let's be honest. We went on a massive 10-game unbeaten run, but then we ended up dipping off completely. Then we went it down to relegation sort of form.
Yeah, and we're still in that form,
exactly.
Which is frustrating.
Exactly. So what if we end up getting out of that form and then going on a massive run?
Which we could do.
Exactly.
So when will it change for you, for Ange? When will it be breaking point for you? Do you think? If you're Ange like I am, when does it? I mean, I'm going to be there to the very end in Ange. I won't lose faith in him. But for you being a younger fan, you see football a lot different. You see football a lot different than I do. And maybe I see it more from yesteryear than you see it more for now. So when do you start losing faith in the manager? When did you start losing faith in Mourinho and Conte? What was the main bit game for you? Said right, that's it. I want this manager out.
Conte and Mourinho was their attitude towards us, the fact that they had a superiority complex because it felt like the way they came in and basically announced themselves like they were doing a favour for us. That's what had me lose faith in him. And I'd probably say with Ange, I'd probably go with like another 6-7 games I'll give him. And if the form doesn't turn around, that's when I'll start turning. Not like bashing him consistently, but I'll start going towards like the other side. I'll probably start moving towards the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, like I get you. Hot God said, Dyer said there was no tactics under Ange. He needs to adjust against the top teams. We can't go gun-ho all the time. He's got a point there.
But Dyer was a bum boy for Jose, though, so you can't really take face value of anything what Dyer said, really, can you? Because we all saw how he was with Jose in the documentary. They were that close.
I've started this for later, but I'm going to bring it up now. I want people's thought. Ange in his press conference yesterday was very rude to one of the lady reporters, and Tequila, but Tequila says he's majorly rattled and was rude to a lady, which I don't stand for. So I lost respect for him for now how he treated her. Look, it's very hard to emotions run high, especially in the North London derby. And there's no need to be rude, especially to a male or a female reporter. They're only doing their jobs. But does Tequila have a point? He's looked rattled, or do you think he was angry?
I think he was angry because it was also what she said as well, remember? Because she did say something, and we did have it like when you called and all that, where you saw her what she said and stuff like that, and she came across like really snarky towards him in regards to like what, and like tried to twist his words. I think that's what it didn't rattle him; it made him angry. That his words were being twisted. I think that's what anybody would. If anybody had their words twisted and stuff like that, I think anybody would lose their mind about it because you're taking them out of context inside of a public setting, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. But no, look, there's no need to be rude to a lady reporter, and I do agree with Tequila. There's no need for it. I think everyone should be treated with respect. We've got a few more comments here. So many comments in. I was only hoping to go for 40 minutes, but we've gone over that. So nothing on the business with City today. I thought I'll go. Yeah, they have started today. We're going to quickly go through that at the end. Big up the hot God. It was frustrating against Arsenal, all the possession, but difficult to break against the counter. We just cannot break down low block sides for some reason. I don't know why. Big up to GJ Samuel. I hope you're all right, sir. I hope you're keeping well, man. It says, give Ange time like Man United did with Sir Alex when he... Exactly. And I have that to go back to, Boris. So I'm very... And we did it with Poch as well. So we can give managers time. It does work, doesn't it? If you give manager times, it works.
Yeah, it was just that Poch unfortunately couldn't get us over the ends and stuff like that. Let's be honest, if he probably won that Champions League final, he would have been safer than any other manager in the league, probably even safer than Pep was. But unfortunately, he didn't.
He did say before that, if we win the Champions League, I'm off. So he sort of made for a rod for his own back anyway.
Yeah, by saying that comment, of course, he's put himself in that position, basically saying, if I win that, I'm off.
Yeah. Just want to quickly, we've got right now we ain't scoring goals, and it seems like we'll wind up giving off some gifts. So offensive, we need to pick up. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Defending, it's a good brain death on set pieces. Yeah, I know. I will go into that. Column's going to go into that, guys, for you tomorrow. If Ange does then the fan base then want him out, many start backing him. Exactly. If he changes, then it changes in an instant.
Yeah.
Tequila says, I want to give every manager 3 years, really. However, I have serious concerns over the manager. He says silly stuff, stubbornness and lack of respect of his opponents, B- or C+, no higher. Well, that's fair enough. And Simply 8 says, I'm not saying Ange out, but he is not adapting and he has been making many mistakes and refuses to try and fix them and shows the board he's doing everything that they are the problem and not him.
Yeah, I kind of understand where he shows lack of respect for others because they treat him like he's an idiot, like he's brand new to football and like he hasn't been in the game for a long time. But everybody seems to forget this is Arteta's first actual managerial job. But everybody seems to keep forgetting that, and everybody thinks like, oh, Angie's brand new to this, but he's not. He's been in managerial career longer than I've been alive.
Yeah,
he's been over 3 decades, hasn't he? He's been in a manager,
and he's won everywhere he's gone.
Exactly.
I mean, so did Conte and Mourinho, but that's another story altogether. Arsenal and United, and that is true. Arsenal and United have dominated the league with Chelsea, to be fair, and Man City as well now, and Liverpool. So, and he goes on. We haven't replaced Harry Kane, but how can we replace a legend?
You can't. It's like you could. No. It's just like you can't. You could never replace in Phillips' time. You could never replace Jimmy Greaves.
Exactly.
Tequila's time. You could never replace Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane, none of it, or Berbatov, Ginola. You can never replace those stuff.
In my time, it was Archibald and Crooks. And then we had Clive Allen, who scored 49 goals in one season. I mean, the year we lost to Coventry in the FA Cup. And that is the one game Mr. Brady will not talk about.
Yeah, well, we've got a chance to right that wrong.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Peter says, all due respect to Celtic and to the Aussie national team. True, Boris, but however, not happy with tippy-top players, which you can't argue with. That's true.
Yeah, well, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just stating the fact that the media and fans treat Ange like he's an idiot, which is just disrespectful to him. So, of course, he's going to lose his composure when people just treat him like an idiot and treat him like a child, like he's out of his depth when it comes to managing a team. Like, yes, he doesn't adapt, and yes, it might be stubbornness, but he's done the job a hell of a lot longer than probably any of us have.
Yeah, as I said, he's been a manager for 30 years nearly. So, look, we have to see what happens. DJ says still not 100%, but I still got a mod job to do. Great live stream tonight, as always. Thank you so much, DJ. You're very kind, sir.
Cheers,
You're really kind. We've got Simply A saying, I'm no fan of the board, but unless they are picking the team, they can't blame ANGE for making mistakes time after time. We've got Tequila says, one of my main concerns going in with ANGE was how he handled top players and how he faces against top managers. Both still big concerns. And look, there's going to be a lot of fans that are still 50-50 on ANGE. And maybe these next games, I mean, he said yesterday after the game, Boris, he says we control games. We've created opportunities than other opposition, but that's meaningless unless you actually execute well. And we've got to execute better. And these are the next 5 games, man. I mean, go give us your prediction for the next 5 games.
Coventry win, Brentford win, Europa League match win, Arsenal, Man United either draw or possibly win, depends on what sort of form. But they're coming off a win now as well, so depending on how their next matches go, could depend on how ours go. But I'd say if we win like Coventry, Brentford, and the Europa League, if we continue that form, I feel we do have a good chance against United. But I'd probably say a draw for that realistically. And for the next Europa League game, I'd probably say possibly a win.
Are these 5 games make or break for ANGE?
For the fans, yes. To the board, I don't think so. I feel like they're going to have a huge impact, but if he does manage to end up at least winning, I'd say 60% and drawing 2 others, I feel like he'll be safe from the board, and even Levy will admit that.
So for me, I'm going for a win tomorrow, Wednesday night. I'm going for a 3-0 win. I'm going for a win at Brentford. I think we'll win. I think we're going for a win as well in Europa League. I think we're going to get a draw at United. I don't think we'll win up there. I think it's away the first game, so we never do well at Old Trafford. And then I think we're going to win against this Hungarian team. So I think we're going to be unbeaten in our next 5 games. But they are make or break games, sir. This is the league at the moment. Of course, Tottenham are 13th at the moment. 4 wins. 4 wins. I don't know why that slide thing isn't coming off. Oh, yes, it has come off now. Game 4 played, 1 win, 1 draw, 2 defeats, +2, 4 points. You can see Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool in the top 4, and Villa, Brighton, Forest, and Chelsea in the European places. Not a great start from us. The worst start in 9 years, Boris. Very quickly, as we end off the show. In the next 5 Premier League games, you expect us to be up thereabouts in top 4?
I'd probably say we probably get. I don't see us getting exactly top 4, because I do think ANGE will focus on the cups and stuff like that as well compared to the league. So I would probably say we'd probably land around the 6th, 7th, stuff like that. If we focus on the cups as well as Europa and stuff like that, maybe even 8th.
Yeah.
But if we focus on those as well and we actually end up getting a cup out of that, I think Levy will realise that ANGE is unsackable then in that regard. And I think even Levy likes ANGE, not in the way we think though, because let's be honest, a lot of us think if Levy liked him, he would buy him the players he wanted. But I feel like he does have some sort of respect to ANGE and stuff like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. As Will said, as Yaz said, the early way is up. That is so true. Simply A says we will lose to Coventry, Man United, and draw with Brentford. Neil Shafton says it will mean a lot of protests outside with the Levy out and ANGE out, shining up. If we don't make more points, then we drop. Exactly. I have us down a 4 to 12 out of 12 points. Oh, it's hard to know. Just very quickly, the Man City trial started today, Boris. Man City 115 charges. They are looking at an end of this an answer by spring of 2025. So the quick question to you, if you could, we answer this quickly, we end off the show. Is Ready from second downwards fighting for the title? Because if Man City are going to be relegated, then really it's really from second downwards, isn't it, for the league?
I don't see City get relegated though, honestly. I know it sounds thingy, but I just don't see him getting relegated. I see probably like 40, 50 point deduction for next season or stuff that.
I've heard they're going to be relegated.
I just don't see it. With the lawyer, the pain, I just don't see it. Really, I see him getting out of it. To be honest, I don't see him getting out of it like scot-free. I feel like it probably even could be like a transfer ban, massive fine, and a points reduction. I just can't see him getting relegated.
I can. But look, we'll wait and see. It's an independent panel because that went on to the last thing, really. This is from the La Liga president. La Liga chief Javier Tebas claims Man City must receive the sanction they deserve in the trial of the century and slams CAS for overturning UEFA's decision for the ban. UEFA did ban them, but they went to the independent CAS. Forget what it means. CAS. I forget the name of it. And they overturned it apparently.
Yeah, look, I can't trust anything his slimy ball like he comes out of his mouth. He's got Barcelona in his league and Madrid in his league. He doesn't really have any legs to stand on.
That's true. And we've lost a subscriber as well. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You do your best and you lose a subscriber. But we've got a good super chat, so I suppose it all balances out on the end of the day. Well, he was a Man City fan. If Man City go relegated, then Arsenal will likely win the league. Hell no. So simply yes. I know. Boris, where can people find you, sir? You're on tomorrow. You're on Wednesday with.
Yeah, I'm on Wednesday. There'll be a video coming up tomorrow about the opposition. Yeah. I've still got to finish some stuff off, so I'll probably be sending that to Com tomorrow. That'll be coming out. Then next time you'll see me after that video comes out, it'll be on Wednesday when the match will be when the Coventry versus Spurs Carabao Cup match will be going live. I'll be doing that alongside Com, isn't it?
Yeah. We've got Tottenham team talks, which Boris will be doing with the coming out with the latest lineup, and then we're doing the watch along, and then the guys will be doing post match live. I'm back on Friday night with the podcast, guys. And then I'm back on Saturday with Tottenham Team Talks, of course, with all the usual Saturday madness that goes with the Premier League. And Boris will be joining me, hopefully, for the watch-along, because he did such a good job in his debut.
Yeah, I should be, depending if I'm free or I will be joining.
Good, man. Well, listen, whatever you do, guys. And once again, thank you, Philip, so much for everything you've done. You are the godfather. But whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust. And in true Tottenham Stig fashion, you have to give us the sign out of the show, Little Stig. So give you whatever comes into your head. That is your signature sign out. So what do you want to say to take us out of the show? He's gone silent.
Don't cry too much. Bye.